Number 1. You'd collapse before sunrise. The day starts before the sun's even thinking about rising. Not with coffee, not with warm-up drills, with a centurion screaming in your face and a 60-pound pack slamming onto your back. You're not special. You don't get to ease in. You march immediately, 20 miles on rugged terrain, in worn-out sandals, under orders not to speak, not to fall behind, and never to question. 1 blister? That's a liability. 2, you're left behind. You're not a soldier yet. You're ballast, dead weight, and the Legion doesn't carry dead weight. Number 2, training that would destroy you. Roman military training was designed to do one thing: weed out the weak. You run in formation with a shield and sword, not the light wood training ones, but double-weighted replicas built specifically to exhaust you. You dig trenches, build walls, carry timber, practice formation combat, dismantle and reassemble camps daily, and then do it all over again. You don't train for a day, you train for months. Every hour is accounted for, every mistake punished. If your shield slips, you get beaten. If you faint, no one stops. And if your centurion decides you're not cut out for it, you're dismissed, dishonourably, publicly, violently. Number 3, the food was basically punishment. You don't eat like a gladiator or an emperor, you eat like a draft animal. Barley porridge, sometimes stale bread, maybe some dried legumes. Meat, rare. Fruit, laughable. Wine, watered down if you're lucky. Most of the time, your rations are kept dry, mouldy, and strategically rationed to keep you hungry and moving. If you want more, you hunt it or steal it, and risk punishment for both. Your stomach isn't ready for this. It cramps, it groans, it gives out. But there's no break. You'll keep marching with diarrhea running down your leg, just like the man beside you. Number 4, your own army would rob you blind. The pay? A joke. Your monthly wage is barely enough to live on, and even that gets slashed by mandatory expenses, food deductions, gear charges, tent fees, boot repairs, and bribes you didn't know you were making. Your commander? He's skimming off the top. The quartermaster overcharges you for rotten grain. The system? Rigged. But you can't complain. There's no union, no appeals process. Just silence or punishment. You march for glory, but you bleed for pennies. And if you die, your money goes to Rome, not your family. Number 5, screw up once and die for it. Rome didn't do soft power in its army. They did blood, humiliation, and terror. Fall asleep on watch? Death. Lose formation? Death. Run from battle? Death, but slower, and in front of your entire cohort. 1 man screws up and the punishment could be decimation. Every 10th man executed at random, beaten to death by his comrades. Yes, your own brothers in arms, forced to kill you with rocks and clubs, not for something you did, for something someone else did. That's Roman discipline, total obedience or total erasure. You wouldn't just fail, you'd be made an example. Number 6, the gear alone could kill you. Roman armour wasn't decorative, it was industrial. Raw iron plates, leather harnesses, thick-soled boots with nails driven into them. Your scutum, the curved shield, weighs over 20 pounds and becomes a sweat sponge in the summer sun. Your gladius, short but dense, hangs at your hip, bruising your leg every time you run. Then there's the full marching kit: tools, cooking supplies, spare weapons, digging gear, and food for days. The result? A pack nearly the weight of another human. You're not a man, you're a mule, and every step rattles your joints and grinds your bones. Number 7, you'd forget what sleep even feels like. Sleep is a privilege. In the Roman army, it's a calculated risk. On the march, you sleep on rocks. In battle zones, you sleep in shifts, under your shield, one eye open, surrounded by snoring, farting, flea-ridden soldiers who'll steal your sandals if you doze too deep. The camp must be assembled before rest. That means ditches dug, palisades built, tents pitched. Then there's night watch. If your rotation falls at midnight, tough. You stand in the cold for hours, hallucinating shadows, knowing that if you nod off, you'll be flogged or worse. And if you're lucky enough to sleep, you dream of screaming, of blood, of home. Number 8. Nature was another enemy. Roman uniforms weren't made for comfort. In winter, you get a thin wool cloak and orders to toughen up. In summer, the sun bakes you inside your armour. Desert campaigns, you march across scorched earth until your sandals melt. Germanic forests, you slog through swamps with wet feet, praying trenchfoot doesn't set in. Rain? There's no tent for you, just a soaked tunic and the heat of 100 wet bodies jammed under canvas. There is no perfect season, no safe climate, only exposure year-round until your skin cracks, your lips split, and you learn what weathering a campaign really means. Number 9. You'd die and no one would even know. Rome didn't send letters home. There was no war reporting, no casualty lists posted in the forum. If you died, and statistically you would, it was in a ditch, in mud, under a spear you never saw coming. Your family would never know. Your body would never be found. If they were lucky, they'd be told months later by a friend who made it back. There were no medals, no monuments, no mourning, just another name forgotten by a state that used you up. And if you were wounded, you were patched, reused and redeployed, until you died in your boots, or from an infected scratch that no one treated. Number 10. You'd kill for lies you didn't understand. You're not fighting for freedom, not for justice. You fight for senators who've never held a sword. You die for emperors who change weekly. You march into Britain for glory, into Parthia for revenge, into Judea for nothing but conquest. Your victories? Claimed by men in silk robes. Your failures? Paid in lashes. You don't choose the war. You don't question the orders. You kill strangers in strange lands and watch friends turn to ash. You become a tool, one sharpened, used and discarded without thanks. Not a hero, not a patriot. Just one more pair of boots, trampled into the dust of an empire too big to care. If you enjoyed the video, you can watch another one here.